And then, if you're able to hire them at the end, there is no onboarding. You hire them, they sign their offer letter, and they start working. And of course, the work opportunity tax credit, you can take advantage of that as well. So there's just, it's a great recruiting tool for your organization.
Well, I'm so glad you brought that up because, as you know, I work with federal contractors. I call myself the Oprah of federal contracting. And when we started talking about what a benefit this is, so many of the companies that I work with are veteran business owners themselves. And every conversation that I have with them is, oh, if I could help somebody go through the transition so they don't have to go through what I would go through, I would love to do that. So when I talk to a government contractor, many of them have specific requirements that only veterans can fill because they have the expertise inside a specific command in a domain, whatever it is. And they come frequently with the security clearance, as you mentioned, plus the skills. So
Right.
when Addie came to work for me, I actually did offer her a job. I didn't think I could afford it because I'm a one-person company effectively, but she did such a great job. And I said, Addie, I can't really quite do full time, but here's what I can do. And she said, well, I don't need health insurance. And I'm flexible. And by the way, I'm going back to school, so I don't need full time. It happened to be a perfect fit for me, but I would have been happy to recommend Addie to anybody else. And that's really what's missing in all of this is we want our veterans to be connected to our network because it's so much easier to find a job when you're already working because you're in a setting where you've got people you can talk to and find out where the jobs are, because otherwise it's like this big black brick wall that you can't see the other side of.
Right.
So the other thing I want to mention is I am applying for a tax credit. I'm working with Craig Washburn of Veteran Tax Credits. He explained it to me, and basically I'm getting paid to bring Addie on. So it's working out great for me.
Yeah,
Bridgett,
it's a huge benefit. It's a huge, huge benefit for the program. And, one quick thing, and I know you have something for Bridgett, companies that are interested in exploring this program can reach out to me because we can post an internship opportunity. We have hundreds of interns interested in our program in our candidate database right now. But you were talking about specific needs for, requirements that you need for the people coming in. We can take your requirements, post a SkillBridge opportunity on our job board, on the LinkedIn and Facebook SkillBridge sites to garner more candidates for you. So we're actually a recruiting team for you, trying to find the right people, and you get to interview them. So we don't just throw people at you. You're part of the process, just to make it a better experience for everybody and make it work. I'm sorry, Jenny, I interrupted.
Well, I'm glad that you shared all that with me because we want people to realize what a resource it is for Vets to PM. So they could contact me, they could contact you, whatever it is. But if we've got people that are interested in hiring veterans and developing a relationship, they can really create a career path from a lot of different angles. This is really the way to go. So Bridgett, as we wrap up, I would just like to ask you, what do you see next? What are you so excited about next coming out of this?
After 26 years of a career, having been told what I'm doing and where I'm going, I have the liberty of choosing where I'm going to go. And I really do think that, as I mentioned before, having a passion for helping out veterans and using my experience that I had, especially with the SkillBridge opportunities, I'm passing on some of those experiences on to Vets to PM so that we can kind of rectify some of the hurdles that I had. For 26 years, you have so many experiences that you can pass on to a company and knowledge, and especially with government contracts that, we know how the military works. We may not know exactly specifically how government contracts, are conducted, but when it comes down to how we I guess work and what the establishment the military and DoD in specific, how it kind of works, and with our security clearances and so on and so forth, that we just have so much to offer different companies. So I am looking forward to finding something that fits my niche. We're transitioning to a different location so we can find a forever home, and then just figuring out what it is that my passion is. And I think that that's the best thing for us transitioning military members, is we get to figure out what our real passion is and go forth and find another career. A lot of us are, even after 26 years or even after 6 years of service, we're trying to figure out what it is that we want to do when we grow up. And now this is a great opportunity to kind of put our names out there and say, hey, your resume looks like you're going to be a great fit, or your profile looks like you're going to be a great fit for our company, and having companies actually going out and reaching out to our veterans, rather than the veterans struggling to find out where they kind of fit in amongst different companies. If they can find our profiles, Cathy is kind of one of those people that, no kidding, is like a matchmaker. And so, it's hard for us to kind of identify and pinpoint exactly where we fit in the private sector, and Cathy does a great job of kind of matching those to the company's needs. And so, even smaller companies, smaller corporations, they don't have to do that workload, and kind of know what our skill sets kind of transfer over into the private sector, and Vets to PM and some other skill bridge programs do that for us. So
right, and that's what we do. We take in the resume writing piece of it, which is really an education piece for the transitioning service member. The questions we ask before we work on a resume is, what is it that you want to do moving forward? We ask them to give that thought. What are you passionate about? What do you love to do? Where do you want to be? And we incorporate that in, so that when someone in the private sector is typing in words to find someone, they're going to identify you for that position. And so getting in a program like this, whether it's with Vets to PM or another organization or a company that has their own skill bridge, really helps the service member make those connections and understand where they want to go and how they want to get there.
Well, what we've done, because of all of this collaboration, and I popped in and added Chris McPhee to this, what we want to do is really connect veterans to their next position by connecting all the veterans that are already out there in the job market. So between Vets to PM and groups like the Rosie Network, who Chris is a military spouse and a military veteran as well, there's ways that we make this connection, and that's what makes it really valuable. Chris, do you mind just telling everybody what we were chatting about before? Do you mind?
Yes, I'll be glad to. So I'm Chris McPhee. I'm your camera guy, all that good stuff. But I'm I'm the chapter lead for the Southwest region of the Rosie Network, which helps veterans and military spouse start and grow their business. So I just got word that they want to adventure into the government contracting space and help military spouses and veteran entrepreneurs that want to start a business in government contracting. So solvability and Jenny Clark, the Oprah of government contracting, I wanted to open that door, and everybody else who's in government contracting would like to provide some assistance. But the Rosie Network is a good organization, nonprofit that's just helping people grow their business and become independent. So we'll be glad to have you, Jenny. Looking forward for it.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up today so everybody can enjoy their long weekend. But thank you all so much for being on. And we all share that goal of finding great opportunities for veterans when they transition out of the military, so we don't lose that talent, that drive, and that passion for continuing to serve. So thank you so much for being on today, Bridgett Manning and Cathy with Vets to PM, and Chris. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Jenny.